Hey guys, BX Bricks back with another Lego how-to video. Now I know you guys have been asking me for a while on trying to find alternatives to the piece that I use for the hips of the Lego Transformers that I build. And this is the typical type of build that I use, mostly Mixels. These pieces right here are usually really easy to find. These are easy to find, such as that. But this piece right here, this triple toe ball joint. Actually, wait, I'm focusing on the wrong thing there. Focus. Really, it doesn't want to focus. There we go. So this triple toe ball joint, I found when I just went through LDD, Lego Digital Designer, and it lost focus again. Look at that. There we go. Wait, no. Either way. So this guy I found in LDD in like the Technic section, and I tried it out with some of the Mixels, and I said, hey, this would actually work pretty perfect with what I do. And I ordered a bunch of them. Well, I ordered a few. My first order was through Lego, where you buy the bricks and pieces through customer service. And then I ordered like a whole bag from Bricklink, which is a pretty good source for Lego pieces as well. So I understand that some of you guys might just only get your pieces from actual Lego sets, and that's fine. But these are not normally available. I know they have one with like the latest Dr. Octopus Marvel set. There's like 4 of them in there, which is pretty cool. But if you don't have this piece, I wanted to come up with some alternatives that you guys might have with more normal or traditional pieces. So the thing that I like about this is that it brings everything to like one stud wide, which you could put that on to be 2 studs wide to make everything symmetrical. And the legs come together at about 3 studs apart, and you got the 4 studs down there. So to try to recreate that, this is something that you might see with like my latest Bumblebee right here, my version 3 Bumblebee. And you can kind of see how that looks also, but we're going to turn that around, and then you'll see the same kind of setup right there. And it allows you to put like these angular plates and all that other good stuff. To be able to spin it around. And then I try to keep my vehicles about 4 studs across before I put the tires on, just to keep everything within 6 to 7 studs across, maybe, for the whole vehicle. No, he's not going to stand like that. So what you want to do, well, let's get me out of here. Now, a lot of you guys have Travis brick, which is 1x1 with like studs on pretty much every side but the bottom. So what I would do to recreate this guy, which is also seen in my like Combinivores kits and all that. So we're going to take this guy, this little Travis brick, and put T-joints, which I don't know how you guys find these, because I've never actually had a Lego set with these. I had to order these special. Put one on each side. And then maybe one on the top too. So what we're creating is like another triple ball or triple pointed joint. And for this piece up here, what we could do is put this right here, which is like a 1x2 with 2 clips. If you guys can see that. And plug it in right there on top. Like that. So to get the leg section, what we're going to do is take a lamp holder and get some of these 1x1s with the horizontal clips and plug in one on each side. So you're going to need 4 of these per leg. So you take a 3rd one, plug it in on top, and take the 4th one, plug it in on the bottom. So ultimately you get something that looks like this. So with this, and plug it in right here, like so. You get something that looks like that. Now to get this piece down here, the light gray piece down there, you could use one of these, a 1x2 with the shaft going across. And then we'll plug that in right there. Now to get it spaced out perfectly, you want to make sure that the outermost clip is as far to this side as you can go. You don't really want it pushed on that side because then it won't really work. It got to be all the way to this side, like so. So this will pretty much serve. Let's split Bumblebee's legs right here. Flip his feet around just for the sake of the video, so that you guys can kind of see where this plugs into. So this part right down here with the shaft going across will plug in right there where I have that. So this particular build works for something like my version 3 Bumblebee. Now say for example, because I mean with version 3 Bumblebee, his legs don't fold up in any certain way in car mode. They're pretty much just laid straight out. Now I have other vehicles or other Transformers like Mirage and just like my Combiner Wars, where his legs need to fold up. Let me move that out the way. Straighten up his foot. And where you see how the back of his thigh is flat, that's going to lay flat up against the back of his leg right there. So where you have something like this, this is going to fall out a little bit. Plug that in a little tighter. Well, actually, what I need to do first is undo the whole leg gimmick. I'm just going to fall apart, that's fine. I've already taken pieces off of this guy to make my my gears figure. So in cases like this, where you need to get the wheel down there and everything, and need the thigh to lay flat across the upper part of the leg, or the calf to lay on top of the back of the thigh, there's a different way that you could build it so that, you put that guy down. Like normally, what it looks like without the transformer around it would be like this. So that this way, when you have the bricks built down here, they'll flip around the other side and now be built up this way. So that's how most of my Combiner Wars figures work, and guys like Mirage and such. So to build something like this, where you need the back side of this to be perfectly flat, because you're going to have the bricks folding up on top of that, what you would do, instead of having this look like that, we're going to build it on the other side. You're going to get a little clip, like so, and plug it in right there. The only reason it doesn't really work with this is because you have things like this sticking out. That little notch right there, and then you got this piece right there kind of sticking out, and it just won't fold flat. So I'm going to show you how to make it where it'll be flat and still pretty sturdy. I'm going to take this 1x2 with the shaft on the far end and clip it in right there like that. Then you could take a couple of more of these clips with the horizontal, 1x1 plates with the horizontal clips, and Bumblebee fell. And you can plug in one on each side, like so. And then you could take another one of these shaft pieces and plug it in like that. So as you can see, it gives you the same distance from the hip to the knee joint, and comes together as 4 studs perfectly. So with this, you can see right here that the back of it is flat. So say for example, in cases like Mirage over there, you would have it sticking out like that. And when it's time to transform, the bricks that lay out that way will now fold all the way to the back and be pointed this way, nice and flush against the back of the thigh. Now, in cases like Mirage, where you got a car, sometimes I'll stick the tire on the side of the thigh. Now, if you wanted to build a character like this, as you can see right here, we got the underside of the plate facing outward in order to put this little Technic pin with a stud and stick it right there. That way you have, like, you know, minimal space for the axle and allows for so much more flexibility. So what you do for this, if you want to do something like that, because with this, once again, it's not going to work because there's no place to really stick a tire on this side right here that's going to actually spin. Stick it on there with another stud, but then it won't rotate. So what we're going to do is flip this whole thing around, right? Like so. Let's take this part off so everything's facing the same direction. Like that. And what we'll do, we'll take a 1x1 plate, stick it right there. Now, depending on what type of build, oh, this guy's always losing focus. Depending on what type of build you have, you could stick it there. Or if you wanted, you know, something a little more, because you wanted to extend past the knee itself, you could put another 1x2 plate on top of that. And we're going to borrow Mirage's wheel right there. And then you can stick the wheel right there and it will work just as well. So this way you could have more traditional pieces used for, you know, the waist piece, because I know that triple ball joint is kind of hard to find. You know, this way you guys could, like, kind of, you know, build in this manner. What else do we have to show? So say, for example, you know, I like the fact that, you know, the ball joint, you could, you know, twist it around and whatnot. So if you have transformations like B, then this is the ideal situation right here because it works pretty much in the same manner. Now, sometimes you might not have this double clipped piece right here. So what you could do, take the T-joint out of this, take another one of these clips right here, stick it on top, and something that's a little more common is this 1x2 right here. Pretty much almost every Lego set comes with at least one of these guys somewhere. So you can plug that in right there, and it works the same way. You know, it's just everything at this point is on stud friction, and there's no T-joints to really secure it too tight. I mean, T-joints can be pulled apart, obviously, but with this, I mean, it is really tight. You know, it's pretty much just as tight as a T-joint, but with this, you kind of have to have everything aligned perfectly in order for it to work. You know, like you can't have this kind of out and then spin this around because then it'll pop that out like so, you know? So everything has to be lined properly, which is fine. I mean, it's all about the engineering and whatnot. So, I mean, as long as you're careful with the transformation, I say go for it. Now, there is a benefit to having this setup versus having my traditional setup, because with this, there's a huge gaping hole right there. And depending on the transformation or the character, sometimes I'll put a pin with a ball joint there and I'll be able to connect something else and it'll just make sense. But if that's the case, hey, just put another T-joint somewhere in there. And then you could have this flip around and do all sorts of stuff, or, you know, have something on the back where it flips up and down. You know, who knows? Maybe you'll have the canopy of the car, you know, rotate on this hinge right here. That'll be pretty dope. But something else that's really cool about having this as, you know, as opposed to this, is that you can now dress this up a little bit more. Let's say, let's see, did I pull out a 1x1 flat anywhere? I'm gonna take it off a laser beak right here. So with this, you know, you could dress up this area like that. Let me get B out of here. This is a little distracting for the camera. So you can have something like that. And granted, you could do that on this too, if you put that little studded Technic pen there. But then depending on what it is, it'll spin around because it's so loose right there. It'll be all crooked and lopsided, and gravity kind of more takes over versus, you know, having any clutch power. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick tutorial on how this stuff actually works. I mean, ideally, you would want to go with this because it's less work when you look at how many pieces this uses versus how many pieces you have here. But I mean, it's all really based on what you have access to. So I mean, if you can, I'm gonna try to leave a link in the description below for bricklink when you look up this piece, because I mean, other than that, I could leave the number of the Lego piece down here somewhere. But I mean, I want you guys to have the most tools available. You know, ultimately, I want to, you know, inspire you guys and teach you guys how to do certain things and learn different techniques. You know, I don't want to keep anything to myself. But yeah, ideally, you want to go with something like this. Now, for the last few months or the later months in summer, these pieces right here and these were like widely available in most Lego stores, at least in my area. I'm from New York, but yeah, I got these by like the cup loads. So this piece, oh man, I wish that piece right there was available in the store. I would probably buy like 6 cups or something. But like I said, I know how hard it is to find that. So I mean, most of you guys by now should have a Technic brick, not a Technic, a Travis brick of some form, shape, or color by now. So yeah, this is the way how you want to do this. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna probably create a file you'll be able to have access to through my mock pages. So I'll leave a link for that also down in the description below, where I'll have a LDD file of the different types of, I guess, you know, hip configurations that there are for these transformers. I just wanted to do this because I had to like actually test this with, you know, things like Bumblebee, who, you know, I sell these instructions on my website, brixmediastudios.com, and I'm like, hey, if these guys buy these instructions, I mean, I've been selling them, but, you know, I don't know how many people actually have the parts to build them. So in case if you don't have this type of configuration, oh, Bumblebee is completely out of focus right now. If you don't have this type of configuration, then at least you'll be able to replace that with this. Now for Bumblebee, this side works the best, which is also out of focus because I'm all over the place with the video. But this side right here works the best. If you're going to go for like my Combiner Wars figures where, you know, this would normally be flipped up and relies on being able to flip back and lay flush with the back of the thigh, then you want to go with this configuration on this side. So, like I said, I'm going to try to make the LDD file available on my mock pages, hopefully by the time the video posts. That way you could kind of play around with things. You could import that file, like once you save it, you could import it into whatever Lego Transformer you're building, and you'll be able to like kind of, you know, like a plug and play, like trying to swap the parts that you have for, you know, one of the configurations that I have. I think there might be like 5 or 6 of them up there. So I'll be giving that out for free. Mock pages, link below. But yeah, I mean, I definitely wanted to get this out to you guys so that you knew what other options you had instead of trying to hunt these pieces down. Now you have these right here. So for this one, you need about, if you're going to do both sides like this, you need 8 of these clips right there. You need the lamp holder piece, some of these pieces with the bar going across, a bunch of T-joints, and Travis brick. Awesome. So I'm going to be doing a lot of videos tonight. I definitely wanted to get this out there tonight, but I'm going to be doing reviews. Right now I'm breaking down like my first 44 Transformers. Going to have more Transformers on the way, like my guy right here, Gears. It's pretty dope. You might have seen him on my Facebook or my Instagram lately. Of course, I've already like repainted and remolded that guy into Brawn and Swerve and other similar transformers. I'm still working on Motor Master, so I have a picture of that also on the Facebook. And I don't know, I might remodel him because as far as gaps, it looks really good. But the tolerance issue is ridiculous. Like, there's no way I could transform that thing without it, like, something popping off, because everything's way too perfectly tight, which is weird. So I'm gonna probably redesign that before I show you guys again what's going on. But I want to thank you guys for watching, hanging out with me, and definitely stay tuned for more Lego Transformer videos. I got some more things coming down the line. These are going to probably be one of, if not the last video for 2016. And also definitely check me out on Facebook, Instagram, mock pages. I put a lot of stuff up there that you might not see on YouTube. And I do have the website up and running now, brixmediastudios.com. Where's my other finger at? There it is, right there, brixmediastudios.com. Definitely check that out. I got a ton of cool Lego Transformer instructions up there. I'm going to be putting more things up there really soon. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.